government to continue efforts to keep rising prices in check. Trump surrenders in Georgia over election fraud case. Hello, good afternoon and salam Malaysia Madani. Thanks for joining us. I'm SAHIH Samsudin and you're watching Updates at Noon. The government will continue to find ways to ensure that the prices of goods in the country are at a level that does not burden the people. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said this includes increasing food production as well as the introduction of additional measures. Datuk Seri Anwar said the government does not take the issue lightly despite receiving criticism over the matter from the public, whom he said may not fully understand the problems behind the rising prices of goods.
Kena ada rancangan masa depan. Maknanya pengeluaran lebih banyak. Saya telah arah semua syarikat-syarikat besar kerajaan macam Saim Dabi, Gatri, Felda. Dia kena fikir dah bab ni. Kerana kita import barang makanan terlalu banyak. Malaysia ni tanah subur, tapi kita import semua barang makanan. Ya. Jadi oleh itu kita ada arah supaya syarikat-syarikat ni juga bawa keluaran hasil yang lebih besar.
The Prime Minister said this when officiating the mega at Tambun Rahmah sales at the Maidin Manjoy parking lot in Ipoh. Datuk Seri Anwar said efforts to keep rising prices in check so as not to burden the people was not easy. But as a responsible government, it will continue to look for solutions. At a separate event, Datuk Seri Anwar said he has approved the installation of the Starlink satellite internet facility at Kampung Orang Asli Tonggang in Ulu Kinta. The Prime Minister said he will ask the Communications and Digital Ministry through its Minister Fahmi Fadil to ensure that the villages will have internet access. Elaborating further, during a working visit to Kampung Orang Asli Tonggang, Datuk Seri Anwar said it would be implemented through the National Digital Network Plan, Jendela, as part of efforts for the people to get good internet connection. The Prime Minister also announced allocations for upgrading the road leading to the village, which requires immediate repairs to be undertaken through the Kinta District and Land Office. He said the government had approved an allocation of RM400,000 for building a new block for Sekolah Kebangsaan Sri Tanjung in Kampung Tonggang.
Ayat kawasan pedalaman, kampung-kampung, kawasan bandar orang miskin, kawasan orang asli, itu perlu perhatian kerajaan lebih. Sebab tu dia perlu kemudahan sekretar jalan, kemudahan api air dan sekolah dan beberapa kemudahan asas yang lain. Itu insya-Allah kita akan bagi tumpuan.
Malaysian Qori or male Quran reciter Muhammad Khoyim Nizar Sarimi emerged champions of the men's recitation category at the 63rd Malaysian International Al-Quran Recitation and Memorization Assembly MTHQA with a score of 94.96%. Muhammad Khoyim, who has been visually impaired since birth, said he was grateful that 16 years of effort to learn and hone the skills of reciting the Quran using Braille had finally paid off at this MTHQA this time.
Saya tak jangka lah sebab saya tak jangka boleh menang lah sebab ramai lagi yang sebenarnya lagi hebat daripada saya. Contohnya macam Tanzania semalam, saya sampai ketuk-ketuk kursi suara Tanzania, tengok Tanzania semalam, suara tinggi, tajwid okey, Quran bagus. Tapi Alhamdulillah rezeki Allah tu luas kata. Jadi saya rasa gembira sangatlah, syukur kepada Allah dan tak dapat nak diucapkan dengan kata-kata.
Second place went to Ali Reza Bizahaniaval from Iran, who scored 93.30%, while Awang Muhammad Zulhafiz Awang Tengah from Brunei Darussalam came in third with 90.38%. For the Karya or female reciter category, Moroccan participant Sarah Belmamoun emerged victorious with a score of 93.05%, followed by Raudah Supianur from Indonesia and Filipino Sabaha Pato Salik. The Sultan of Perak, Sultan Nazrin Shah, and the Raja Permaisuri of Perak, Tuanku Zara Salim, graced the ceremony last night, which was also attended by the Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Religious Affairs, Datuk Dr. Muhammad Naim Mokhtar. Meanwhile, Dato Dr. Muhammad Naim in his welcoming speech said it is paramount for Muslims to be role models for all mankind in every aspect of life by having integrity and a noble personality in their spiritual and worldly pursuits. The Minister in charge of Religious Affairs said this is because a true Muslim has a balanced personality who does not fall in either extreme.
Al-Quran telah membentangkan pelbagai formula Rabbani untuk memperkukuh kesatuan dan perpaduan dalam konteks bernegara. Memupuk perpaduan dalam sebuah negara yang berbilang bangsa dan agama tidak mudah. Namun, ia adalah tanggungjawab yang mesti dilaksanakan dengan penuh beramanah. Konsep Malaysia Madani digarap dan dijadikan sebagai pelantar untuk masyarakat terus mengurak langkah, memperkukuh rasa kebersamaan dan saling berukhuwah.
Dato Dr. Muhammad Naim said Quran appreciation programs such as International Al-Quran Recitation and Memorization Assembly, which has entered its 63rd edition, will always be elevated as official events at the national level. The Securities Commission Malaysia SC is exploring the establishment of the Islamic Social Exchange to strengthen environmental, social and corporate governance ESG programs, especially to support the poor and the needy. Chairman Dato Sri Dr. Awang Adik Hussein said, with such a wide and extensive list of Sharia financial products available at the moment, ultimately, the focus must shift towards assessing the impact and effectiveness of the channels in realizing the goals of Islamic finance. Dato Sri Awang Adik said the SC is planning to launch a principles-based Maqasid al-Sharia guidance before year-end to promote greater alignment of Islamic capital market initiatives to Sharia objectives. He said the SC has taken on its stewardship role to issue the Corporate Governance Strategic Priorities 2021-2023 CG Strategic Priorities to promote ESG fitness and leadership of boards in listed companies. The SC chairman said subsequently, the SC has updated its Malaysian Code of Corporate Governance MCGG to incorporate new best practices in listed companies when addressing ESG risks and opportunities. In our foreign segment, $41.53 million payout expected from Elon Musk's SEC settlement. Former US President Donald Trump was arrested at Georgia jail on Thursday on racketeering and conspiracy charges. He was later released on a $200,000 bond after having a historic mugshot taken. Trump, who is accused of colluding with 18 other defendants to overturn the 2020 election result in the southern state, spent less than 30 minutes inside Atlanta's Fulton County Jail before leaving in a motorcade for the airport. The Fulton County Sheriff's Office was quoted by US media as saying that the 77-year-old Trump, like the other defendants in the case who have surrendered so far, had his mugshot taken. According to jail records published online, Trump was booked on 13 charges. The billionaire has been criminally indicted 4 times since April, setting the stage for a year of unprecedented drama as he tries to juggle multiple court appearances and another White House campaign. The arrest came one day after Trump spurned a televised debate in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, featuring 8 of his rivals for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, all of whom lagged well behind him in the polls. He still stole the spotlight, though, with all but 2 of the candidates saying they would support him as the party's nominee, even if he were a convicted felon. The U.S. Department of Defense on Thursday said there was currently no information to suggest that a surface-to-air missile took down the plane presumed to be carrying Russian mercenary leader Yevgeny Prigozhin. Air Force Brigadier General Patrick Ryder, a Pentagon spokesperson, offered no evidence or further details on what U.S. officials believe caused the crash as he made his remarks at a Pentagon news conference. It was reported earlier that the United States was looking at a number of theories over what caused Prigozhin's plane to crash and cited two U.S. officials saying a surface-to-air missile likely hit it. The officials stressed that the information was still preliminary and under review and did not rule out a change to the assessment. Russian air authorities have said Prigozhin, his right-hand man Dmitry Utkin, and 8 other people were on the private plane that crashed with no survivors northwest of Moscow on Wednesday. The crash came 2 months to the day after Prigozhin and his Wagner mercenaries staged a mutiny in which they took control of a southern city Rostov and advanced towards Moscow. Japan began releasing wastewater from the crippled Fukushima nuclear plant into the Pacific Ocean yesterday, prompting a furious China to ban all seafood imports from its neighbor. The start of the discharge of around 540 Olympic swimming pools worth of water over several decades is a big step in decommissioning the still highly dangerous site 12 years after one of the world's worst nuclear accidents. Live video provided by plant operator TEPCO showed 2 engineers clicking on computer mouses and an official saying after a countdown that the valves near the seawater transport pumps are opening. Japan has repeatedly insisted the wastewater is treated and will be harmless, a position backed by UN atomic watchdog the International Atomic Energy Agency IAEA. The IAEA said on Thursday that new on-site tests had confirmed the levels of radioactive tritium in the water being discharged were safe. But China has warned the release will contaminate the ocean and immediately responded by blasting Japan as extremely selfish. It then banned all Japanese seafood imports to comprehensively prevent the food safety risk of radioactive contamination, with Japan hours later demanding China lift the ban. Several hundred villages and thousands of acres of cropland in the central province of Punjab in Pakistan were inundated when the Sutlej River burst its banks on Sunday. Families waded through water and cattle were loaded onto boats in a mass evacuation of around 100,000 people. Rescue boats traveled from village to village over the past several days, collecting people forced to wait on the roofs of their home as the water level rose around them. Others pushed their motorcycles through shallower waters or held belongings above their heads until they found dry ground. Muhammad Aslam, Pakistani chief meteorologist covering floods, said the river level was at its highest in 35 years. The head of Punjab's government, Mohsin Naqvi, said that monsoon rains had prompted authorities in India to release excess reservoir water into the Sutlej River, causing flooding downstream on the Pakistani side of the border. Ali Tawhir Sheikh, a climate and water expert based in the Pakistani capital Islamabad, said the water levels in the Sutlej River had become so high that they were beyond India's storage capacity. The owner and operator of a stricken cable car that dangled over a Pakistan ravine for more than 12 hours have been arrested after repeatedly ignoring safety warnings. 6 teenage boys were among 8 people left stranded hundreds of feet in the air when 2 of the 3 chairlift cables snapped on Tuesday, leading to a daring rescue mission that brought them to safety. Tahir Ayub Khan, a senior police official, said the cables being utilized were of subpar quality and the machines were also in need of overhauling. Tahir said the initial notice was issued to the owner in June, followed by a second notification served in August. He added that both the cable car operator and the owner have been arrested. The country's caretaker, Prime Minister Anwar ul-Haq Kakar, has also issued a directive for all chairlifts in mountainous areas to be inspected and for those that are not safety compliant to be immediately closed. The 6 children had been on their way to school, accompanied by 2 adults, when the chairlift broke down Tuesday morning midway through its journey above the remote Alai Valley. Investors who lost money when Elon Musk tweeted about taking his electric car company Tesla private may soon collect from a $42.3 million fund set up when Musk settled federal securities fraud charges. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission said 3,350 eligible claimants will share in a $41.53 million payout, recouping 51.7% of their losses, while other sums will be held back for fees, taxes and expenses. The Fair Fund was created under a settlement arising from Musk's August 2018 tweet that he had funding secured for a Tesla buyout at a premium. He did not, and many investors lost money during the resulting volatility in Tesla's stock price. The fund was originally $40 million, with Musk and Tesla each contributing $20 million. It grew to $42.3 million with interest payments. U.S. District Judge Louis Lemon in Manhattan, who oversees the case, on Thursday said he intends to approve the payouts by 1st September or shortly afterward if no one objects. The SEC settlement also included a consent decree under which Musk gave up his role as Tesla chairman and agreed to let a Tesla lawyer approve some of his Twitter posts.
76 minit tanpa henti.
76 minutes non-stop. Transparent and concise.
Paparan komprehensif, ringkas dan padat. Saksikan Kanta 744, 7.44 malam. Berita perdana 8 malam.
Malaysia Tonight, 8:30 p.m.
Coming up in sports, 3 Malaysian pairs march into last 8 of World Championship.
Memulakan langkah pertama memerlukan 1000 kekuatan. Langkah seterusnya memerlukan nekat dan juga keyakinan. Namun kita harus sokong dan bantu mereka kerana kepulihan itu pasti.
Harimau Muda's hopes of getting to the final were quashed after Vietnam, comprising 6 under-18 and 10 under-20 players, schooled Malaysia 4-1 in the semi-finals of the under-23 ASEAN Championship in Rayong, Thailand yesterday. Malaysia played like headless chickens in the first half as Vietnam raced to a 3-0 lead through goals by Dinh Xuan Tien in the 8th and 44th minutes and Nguyen Quoc Viet in the 32nd minute at the Rayong Provincial Stadium. Malaysia reduced the deficit through Alif Iqmal Rizal Anwar in the 49th minute before Nguyen Hong Pak scored Vietnam's 4th in the 85th minute. Alabarasan side, who are without several regulars, made individual mistakes, especially in the first half, and allowed Vietnam to dictate the game. However, Malaysia did better in the second half after making several substitutions. Malaysia will take on Thailand in the third place playoff on Saturday. Johor Darul Ta'zim JDT will face South Korea's Ulsan Hyundai and Japan's Kawasaki Frontale for the second straight year in the group stage of the Asian Champions League ACL. Making up Group I are Thailand's BG Pathum United. The group stage starts on 18 September and ends on 18th May next year. In 2022, JDT upset the form book by topping their group, finishing ahead of Kawasaki, Ulsan and China Guangzhou at the Sultan Ibrahim Stadium in Iskandar Putri. However, JDT were thrashed 5-0 by eventual champions Urawa Red Diamonds of Japan in the last 16. This year's ACL group stage will revert to the home and away format and things will be more challenging for JDT. Although it is a similar group, JDT coach Esteban Solari said it will be a different ball game this year. Going by the Asian rankings, number 160, JDT are ranked behind number 3 Ulsan, number 4 Kawasaki and number 34 Pathum. The Asian Football Confederation said the video assistant referee VAR system will be used from the group stage this season. Meanwhile, Sabah will use JDT's 2015 AFC Cup success as a motivation when they debut in the Continental Tournament in September. The Rhinos are in Group H with Vietnam's Haiphong, Singapore's Hyugang United and Indonesia's PSM Makassar. The group stage starts on 18 September and ends on 14 December. Sabah head coach Dato' Ong Kim Swee said they would also like to analyse JDT performances and the competition as a source of inspiration to gain the belief and win matches. Hyugang United and PSM Makassar are no strangers to the AFC Cup, while Haiphong are making their debut after losing 3-1 to South Korea's Incheon United in a recent Asian Champions League playoff match. Terengganu FC, on the other hand, are in Group G with Indonesia's Bali United, Philippines' Tallinn Laguna and Australia's Central Coast Mariners. Terengganu head coach Tomislav Steinbruckner also said that the AFC Cup is different than the Malaysian Super League. Therefore, he said Terengganu could not afford to get too comfortable in the competition. Last season, Kuala Lumpur City FC reached the final of the competition before losing 3-0 to Oman's Al Seep. National men's doubles Aaron Chia and So Woo Yik advanced into the quarter-finals of the 2023 World Badminton Championship at the Royal Arena in Copenhagen, Denmark yesterday. Reigning men's doubles champion Aaron Woo Yik, who trailed for a large part of the opening game in their third round, clashed against Olympic champions Li Yang, Wang Qilin of Taiwan, fought back to prevail 21-16, 21-18 and sealed their last 8th berth. 6th seed Liu Yu Chen owes Wan Yi await the 4th-seeded Aaron Woo Yik in the last 8 after the China pair disposed of Taiwan's Lu Qingyao, Yang Po Han 24-22, 21-16 in their third round match. However, it was the end of the road for professional Duong U Yu Sin Teo Yi Yi after they lost 15-21, 10-21 to home pair Kim Astrup and Anders Rasmussen. Man Wei Chong, T Kai Wan also faced the same fate after going down fighting 16-21, 21-14, 17-21 to third seeds Liang Wei Keng, Wang Chang of China.
They're both on the floor. And it is...
In the women's doubles, national pair Pearly Tan and M. Tina stunned world number 4 Mayu Matsumoto and Wakana Nagahara of Japan to also storm into the quarter-final of the World Championships. Pearly Tina, the world number 11, were on top of their game to outplay Matsumoto Nagahara 21-14, 22-20 in the third round match that lasted 47 minutes. It was the Malaysian pair's third win in 4 meetings against Matsumoto Nagahara, who were world champions in 2018 and 2019. Pearly Tina will meet China pair Zhang Zhuxian, Zheng Yu, who beat Holland's Kristen de Witt, Alisa Tritosen-Tono 21-13, 21-10 in the last 8 on Friday. Meanwhile, national mixed doubles duo and 14-seeded Tang Ji and Yi Wei bounced back from a game down to earn their quarterfinal ticket as they overcame French 7-seed Tom Kickwell and Delphine Delroux 20-22, 21-19, 21-12. Tang Ji Yi Wei will meet second seed Yuta Watanabe, Arisa Higoshino after the Japanese pair down Indonesia Rehan Naufal, Krusajanto, Lisa Ayu Kusmawati 21-14, 21-17. After the matches, National Doubles Coaching Director Rexy Manaki praised his charges for having the desire and spirit to put up a top-class performance. The National Sports Council, MSN, in their capacity as organisers of the Lee Tour di Langkawi LTDL 2023, have confirmed receiving assurances that there is sufficient sponsorship to ensure the 23-30 September race can be run smoothly. Its Director General, Dato' Ahmad Shapawi Ismail, said MSN had already received confirmation from 22 teams, including 2 World Tour outfits, for the Pro Series race.
MSN ingin mengesahkan bahawa sudah pun mendapat jaminan penajaan yang mencukupi dan pengurusan perlembagaan kali ini dapat dilaksanakan dengan selesa. Terima kasih kepada barisan penaja yang telah mempertamatkan sokongan bagi LTDL kali ini. Sekaligus semua persiapan kini berjalan lancar, terutama memastikan syarat-syarat ditetapkan oleh Kesatuan Perserikatan Antarabangsa UCI dipenuhi.
It is understood that the Kedah State Government and conglomerates are among those set to be announced soon as sponsors of the 27th edition of the LTDL after the Youth and Sports Ministry KBS had set aside an allocation of 8 million ringgit. The organisation of the LTDL 2023 was previously embroiled in controversy when the Union Cyclists International UCI omitted the race from their calendar following the issue of debts owed by the previous organiser, but it was resolved and has been included in the World Cycling calendar. Meanwhile, Dato' Ahmad Shapawi said all preparations are up and running, especially in ensuring the terms and conditions stipulated by the UCI, such as providing logistical facilities, transport and accommodation for the teams are fulfilled.
Malaysia juga dalam proses akhir memutamatkan perjanjian dengan Badan Penyiaran Antarabangsa serta tempatan demi memastikan perlombaan DL kali ini disiarkan secara langsung di minimum 10 negara seperti ditetapkan oleh UCI.
According to him, although the UCI stipulated that a minimum of 3 World Tour teams were needed for any Pro Series race, the World Body will make an evaluation based on a 3-year average. As such, Dato' Ahmad Shapawi said he would try to get more World Tour teams for the coming edition so that the LTDL will not lose its status as one of the world's most prestigious cycling races. World-renowned teams like Astana Kazakhstan and EF Education Easy Post of the United States, who are led by their 2 main riders, Simon Carr and Jefferson Cepeda Oritz, are the 2 World Tour teams competing this time. The 2 teams can expect a stern test from the 8 UCI Pro status teams and 11 continental outfits, including the Terengganu cycling team, while the Malaysian national side will also be joining the fray.
Tamasya sukan terulung di benua Asia kini bakal beraksi. Satu hati dengan semangat kesukanan. Perjuangan dalam keharmonian. Sukan Asia ke-19 Hangzhou 2022 bersama RTM, penyiar rasmi.
Esports and gaming, then be sure to stay tuned to RTM because something new is coming.
That concludes today's edition of Updates at Noon. In our top story, government to continue efforts to keep rising prices in check. We leave you with a visuals from the International Computer Games Fair, Gamescom in Cologne, Germany, where around 1,200 exhibitors from 62 countries participated in the event to give the public a chance to test out the latest innovations in the gaming industry. Till then, I'm SAHIH Samsudin, Malaysia Madani, tekad perpaduan penuhi harapan. Thank you for watching.